As a man, you require a big ego. You must be selfish in life. It's necessary.
So, okay, in terms of what? The selfishness is in terms of what? Your
In
time, your finances, your...
In every aspect of life, you think of it selfish. You must be selfish. And that's why I said it differs. I'd say something different if you asked me about the ego and a woman.
Okay, so in your life, how have you been selfish with your ego in order to get further in life, to get progress in the way you want to as a man, would you say?
My time.
Okay.
For starters, my time.
Yeah, facts, yeah.
I'm incredibly greedy with my time.
Yeah.
Incredibly greedy.
Yeah.
You said finance, you pointed out finance, incredibly greedy with my finance as well.
Yeah.
Greedy is not the word I want to use because I've actually helped a lot of people. It's the incorrect word, it's the incorrect diction. What I would say is I've been very selective as to where I've pushed and used my finances.
Discernment.
Yes, correct. So I've delegated it differently. I've been selfish and I've always put myself first.
Is that something you've had to learn over time?
Correct, yes, correct. Before I used to be very selfless.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in past relationships or even friendships, man, it doesn't have to be always romantic. Like for me, I've let a lot of things slide sometimes, and maybe so not wanting to upset someone else and not putting my needs at the forefront of something. Do you know what I mean? But as I've gotten older now, not that I'm selfish, but it's more of a fact where if I don't take care of number one, how can I then take care of number two? Doesn't make sense.
It goes to another level as well, right? So I feel like what you're saying, that's how you become healthy, right?
Yeah.
You start looking after it. But also,
Facts.
sometimes if you're letting a lot of things slide, it's not always just about you, but also when you're letting it slide, it's about the other person as well. Because what happens then, the other person is not being checked for what they do because they have an opportunity to change. Because what they're doing, they're not doing something correctly. So if they're being checked and you're saying, yo, the thing that you're doing there, and you're not letting it slide. So kind of when you don't let it slide, you're also serving the other person.
Yeah,
so you're adding value to the other person.
It's almost like you're serving their ego.
Yeah, so when you're letting it slide, it's a double L. You're losing, you're taking the L because it comes at your expense. But also they're taking the L because there's opportunity for them to learn.
And they're not taking
they're not getting to learn because you're letting it slide.
Yeah,
so it's a double-edged sword.
Women doubting you, for a lot of men, it's the best thing that can happen to them.
Yeah, it's a test.
I feel like what I tend to find, just from my observation, so boys, for the most part, that quote unquote are pretty boys, quote unquote were pretty, they tend to in the long run not have as much as boys that maybe had grew up later on. And what I realize, I equate that to is when you don't have it easy when you're young, for example, when girls are rejecting you, when you don't have money, when you don't come from much, it almost like all of that, and that's the healthy ego, it kind of becomes your driving force. So you acquire the skills necessary to gain income, finances. So whether that, do you know what I mean, whether career-wise, some people go the wrong way, but you acquire certain skills, right? In terms of, like you said, if your appearance is naturally, you weren't a guy that got girls and stuff like that, you tend to now, by default, for example, go gym, which helps your health in the long run, right? Obviously you get to a point where you're not doing it for girls anymore, but at first you might do it for that, but in the long run, you're getting stronger, you're
mental
getting
health,
healthier, you're getting fitter. So those kind of things, I think being doubted a bit. I love being doubted. I'm not gonna lie.
The best thing, it's like the maddest fuel.
I love being because you know what it is the problem is when everybody's screaming that you're great.
You're nothing to work for.
It's almost like it gets you complacent. It's dangerous, and you need that. Like Drake's got a bar say, I heard someone say I fell off. Oh, I needed that. And it's sometimes it's like, ooh, I needed
you need that. You need it.
Like you pissed me off. I need that. And I think I always operate from a place of underdog.
Yeah.
And even on my page, I love when I get ridiculed.
You love being what, sir?
I love sometimes.
Being ridiculed, you say?
I like ridiculed by comments.
Okay.
Sometimes I do like it because, obviously sometimes I don't get blocked.
Yeah.
But sometimes I like it because it's like, I constantly need that because I feed off that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I just jump off the app and I just go harder. Whatever I do, you know what I'm saying? So, I think it's a good thing sometimes. I think it's a good thing Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And it's something I believe women should be, very selfless. By the nature of the woman has to be selfless. How do I know? Well, the woman is burdened with the carrying of a child. She's burdened with the nourishment of the baby within her body and outside of the body. The woman actually has to breastfeed a child. I don't. She has to nurture. In her nature, she feeds the child, but she also has to nurture the children. The mother is very important for that reason. It's what makes women very beautiful, and a woman has to be very selfless. They're communal animals. They want everyone to be happy. As a man, listen, I've become someone who, I don't give a shit. I genuinely don't care. I don't even want to say or use that type of diction, but I don't actually care what people think. I've gone to that point where I don't care what people think, which is, I said, don't demonize ego inflation. So I am in a place of ego inflation, yes, but in a place where I am within the bounds of reality, where I wasn't before.
Being a man, you just have more emotion towards a woman, and if especially your mum, you're like, you don't want to see her upset because you take it differently. So some people would say, like with their father, they just want their father to say like, you've done well, whatever. I never got it from my pops. This is not how he is. But with your mum, I don't know. You like, a lot of people that don't want to let your mum down more because you see genuine emotion from your mum, or distress, or her being upset. It hits harder. I feel like it just hits harder, especially with a mother and a son.
The girls that have everything as a package, they tend to be the ones that was a slow glow up, and they tend to be like have better jobs, they're better around the house. Because a pretty girl just had everything given to her. She's never had to work for nothing. Guys are just giving her everything. So what happens is later on down the line, a lot of the times you find like the prettiest girls, it's like they're not compatible. They're not the ideal person to be with to build anything long term because they haven't acquired any skills. Because everything's been handed to them on a plate by default of just being pretty. Whereas you find that the girl that might not be the prettiest one in school, but obviously she's pretty in her own way. She grew up. But she went straight to work. She didn't have the luxury of guys getting by and everything. She had to learn to work. She had to go and get a degree. She had to they have to go and do things. You know what I mean? They're like, and as far as a woman to be with long-term wise, I tend to find like the slow burner ones, the pretty, slow burner pretty. I think they're usually better than like your average one that you just look at, wow, she's stunning. Do you get it? For the most part. And again, I'm not generalizing everybody, but I'm saying just from my own life experiences, I tend to find like it's the same applies with girls, like you said, like the prettier the girl is, a lot of the time, like even having a conversation with her, like on a deeper level, a deep substance, it's hard still, you know what I'm saying?
What's maybe one aspect of work you've done within yourself to improve?
I would say using the self-importance of making sure that I am committed to my calling and my purpose. So that I have to constantly remind myself of that calling, of that what I've been assigned to do by God, and just reminding yourself like, yo, do you know who you are? Like, that's using your ego in a healthy way to remind yourself so you can get back on track, because it's so easy to divert from the mission and be distracted or forget who you are along the journey of life. I think
one thing that I like we said there, I think is very important as well, to be very, as much as you can, to be selfless. Because for me personally, I feel like ego, as I said in it, like we've said in it, in terms of the actual core meaning, in terms of like self-importance and self-values, but also as well, I feel like, as you said in it, it's how, in terms of relationships, how you serve other people. And me personally, I feel like part of my calling in God is to serve other people. It's not just about being self-serving, it's about other people and how that then impacts yourself as a person. I think that's a greater purpose to have.
Definitely.
And I think that it makes life more rewarding. Definitely.
And again, it goes back to what you said of how you're supposed to help serve other people if you're not serving yourself. So for you to be able to give onto others, you have to be able to pour that into yourself
Can't
first.
pour off an empty cup.
Exactly.
Bro?
Love, my bro.
Love, man. Love. Rizzy.
Nice.
It's Rizzy. Big words, man.
Having a healthy ego, how would you describe that in 3 ways, you say? What's the 3 words you would use for having a healthy ego?
3 words I would use for having a healthy ego.
Yeah, if you can.
It's a cheap way out, but mind, body, and soul.
Yeah, facts.
Mind, body, and soul.
I guess it's
Just nourishing, you know, like you spoke about grooming. Like grooming doesn't always look, it's just like physical appearance. So it's not always about like, oh, I got his haircut, I got his trim, whatever. Sometimes it's actually not like grooming our soul, grooming our, you know, obviously spoke about body already, grooming our body, and also, you know, grooming our mind. Like we got to look after those aspects as well, because all of those things are connected, right? Like there's this really interesting thing. So like, I think over the last years, and like people used to talk about spirituality as like woo-woo kind of thing or whatever. But actually, I think over the last years, it's become more of a thing that people are starting to understand.
I think during COVID, isn't it? COVID has been the time for us to sit
during
down.
COVID, but there's this interesting thing. So someone was saying like, why do people connect with animals better sometimes than other human beings? Because you know, some people will like connect with animals way better, but because they don't connect through words, they don't connect through words. They connect through feeling and energy. And that's when I start saying like, okay, spiritually, like we feel like, you know, if you come in like energy's off, it might be the bad vibe, or sometimes someone else is the bad vibe. Energy's a thing, and it's not a thing we can necessarily like describe in words. And maybe we need to stop trying to describe it in words. Maybe we start understanding how to feel it rather than describe it.
No, I agree.
I think I have a healthy ego.
Why?
Why? I can say why not.
You just said you think you have a healthy ego though?
Yeah, no, but as in I can say why I think I don't have an unhealthy ego.
Oh yeah, go on, go on.
Because, no, but first of all, I'm going to ask you to flip it. What do you think is an unhealthy ego?
What do I believe is an unhealthy ego?
Yeah.
I believe an unhealthy ego.
Because I have my opinions, but I would like to hear you, because I normally the same wave anyway.
Someone that's self-righteous.
Okay.
Someone that belittles other people. That's how they get their own sense of self.
Yeah.
By belittling other people.
Yeah.
Someone that is.
I think you kind of hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if you belittle someone,
Yeah.
your ego is not really in check. It's not really healthy.
It's not healthy. No.
I don't think I belittle anyone.
And also, I think having an unhealthy ego. Lastly, I think is to do with not hearing other people's opinions or words. It's like it's just one tunnel vision.
Yeah.
It's a duality, because we were saying before, there's a certain level of ego where you need to have it in order to get things done.
Yeah.
But it's that level where it's overboard, where you don't hear when other people are trying to maybe correct you or be like, yo, you did that wrong, you know.
Exactly.
Or it's just your way without hearing other people, because
that's right.
You can hear other people still want to do your own way, but instead of be empathetic towards how they're feeling, but still make them understand this is how we're going because of X and Y.
That's right.
But if you're not even giving that explanation, it's just like, yo, we're doing this, don't care, my way, highway, F off. Like, do you know what I mean? That's like where ego, I feel, is like, it's like having a Kanye moment sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Where he's just going overboard, where you can tell, because we never can tell sometimes with his mindset, but sometimes, because he's achieved so much and he's a big inspiration for me, but because he's achieved so much, sometimes he uses that maybe to kind of talk down to people, like, of course, you wouldn't be here because
that's how it appears.
That's how it appears. Yeah. So
that's true.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. So I feel like I keep saying obviously confidence, but I have a level of self-confidence. I just you know me, I'm just low key. I just kind of just do my thing. I don't really trouble no one. I just get down to business. I don't really ask questions. I just literally get on with it. So if I'm just going on a journey where I'm just always trying to better myself in order to be a better person to others, then I feel like I have a healthy ego, because if I'm always trying to improve myself, make myself better. Because you have to do that to yourself first. You got to make sure you feel good, be good, and then everyone else who you meet in your journey in life, if you give them positivity and if you're nice to them, treat people with respect, then I feel like you got a healthy ego.
The healthy aspect of my ego is that I'm quite, I'm very self-aware of like everything around me and stuff, which could be negative and positive. It could be negative and positive at the same time. So I feel like negatively that affects me in a way that I tend to think of the worst case scenario in certain situations that might not allow me to like do things that would elevate myself. But the positive side of that is that I reckon a lot of the times
being self-aware, I kind of know where my weaknesses and where my strengths lie. So I feel like if I use that part of like my thinking, then I could use that to inflate my ego or make my ego a little bit more healthier, and then get rid of that other stuff.
Do you have self-love?
Now I do, yes.
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay.
In the past, no. For most of my life, I didn't. And I coated that, and I masked the low self-esteem with designer clothes, with jewelry, with being around women, with spending excessively. But all I was doing was masking my low self-esteem. So my ego, I wasn't showing self-love.
I kind of pride in my appearance, innit?
Facts.
Somebody like I pride in my appearance, so it's like.
That's part and parcel of having a healthy ego. And for me, getting a haircut every 2 weeks is part of having a healthy ego, bro.
Like you said, that having a healthy ego is like. Facts. You know what? I want to stay on point. You know what I mean? Even like for example, my house. Yeah. I pride how it looks like. Like if something is getting a bit too old, okay, cool. I want to buy this one. It's my healthy ego. You know what I mean? I want my house to look a certain type of way, so I want to buy this. I'm not gonna let that get too old. I'm gonna replace that. You know what I mean?
Taking onus of our own journey, taking onus of our own mind, taking onus of our own mentalities. Do you know what I mean? All these things. It's like it's all about do you know what I mean? And making sure that we just give ourselves the best opportunity to do the best that we can do, man. Yeah. Because as I said, no one's gonna help us. You have to really put the work in your own self, and obviously ask around and ask about things you're not sure of. But ultimately, I feel like people that get the most furthest in life are the ones that they take the opportunity to do the work. They don't make an excuse. Do you know what I mean? I feel like excuses is for the ones that don't have their ego in check. And I think I used to be like that. If I'm being honest, I'm being totally honest. I mean,
I view you as someone as well that's helped me, like as a person, in terms of maybe it's weird, isn't it? Sometimes we don't view ourselves as in a positive light, but other people sometimes can view you in a sense where they see maybe what they lack in themselves in yourself, but you don't see it your own self.
Yeah.
And I see you as someone that's very positive. You brought a lot of light to me in my life. You're someone as well that I look to emulate in certain things as well. Like I don't see you as someone that is negative in any type of way, but obviously I see one facet of you. Yeah. Of course. But at the same time, you've helped me in a lot of avenues. So when you're saying you don't see yourself as having the most healthy ego, I counter that, because you've brought a lot of light to me. You've boosted even my own ego. You've helped me in my own life, isn't it? And helped me to get further myself in my life and understand the world in a lot of a better way. So I said, I think when it comes to our egos and maybe wanting to be better and do better, our friends can sometimes remind us that we're not too far off of maybe where we want to be.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. So even that,
it's good to give yourself grace.
Saying that, that's boosted me. I might have a healthy ego today. Do you know what I mean? That's that's boosted me up to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Understand that. That's the thing. It's about looking outside yourself as well. 100%. Maybe I'm a bit too inward sometimes. And I don't see the wood from the trees, as they say. But like hearing you say something like that, that's something definitely where you're saying the people around you can make sure that you are pumped up a little bit and have a healthier ego. But it's about being more positive like that.
For sure, man.
But no, man.
For sure.
So do I have a healthy ego? Today I do now. I have one right now. So.
It's interesting though, because there's a level of self-awareness where you're able to kind of see where you was and see where you want to be, where you want to improve in. So on the outside looking in, obviously I can't speak on yourself, but it seems like there's been a growth, there's the journey there. You're able to see, there's these aspects of myself where I was immature in my mentality and in my actions, and you're doing the self-work, you're not making excuses.
100%.
Which for me shows the growth of a human being and shows the level of man you are. On the outside looking in, do you know what I mean? As I said, I can't speak on your own self, but from what I see a man that's on a journey in it, and I appreciate that and I respect that, especially coming from someone who we don't have everything figured out. We're all on a journey together, do you know what I mean? On this, and the conversation like this makes us understand that we're not alone in that. None of us are kind of we don't come out of the womb knowing all the answers. We come out of imperfect people. So how are ourselves gonna be perfect? You know what I mean? So yeah. So I hate 100% where you're coming from, but I respect the journey. I respect you as a man and as a human being, bro. I'm gonna speak on your behalf, even if you don't believe it yourself. I think you've got a healthy ego, bro, because you're able to look at yourself not in a sense where you're pompous or self-righteous. You can see maybe the areas of your life where you need to work on, but also there's a level of, I know myself, I've got self-love. I've got, I know where I'm going, I know where I'm heading. I know it's not gonna be perfect, but I'm heading towards that destination. And I'm not scared of doing the work that's gonna take to get there. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, from me always knowing you anyway, man, I think you're someone that's well respected. You take care of yourself. Even more so now, as you're even aging, you're taking care of yourself more so now. Do you know what I mean? So, bro, definitely you've got a healthy ego, man. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you, brother.
I'm speaking on your behalf, bro. So,
thank you, brother.
And you've been a consistent person. No matter what level of clout you have, even more so now, as you're a known person, you're a known entity. People want things from you constantly, I can imagine. But there's a level of grace you carry yourself with. You know what I mean? And not many people have that. A lot of people will get them numbers and their head will explode, bro. They won't even know how to carry themselves. They won't even be here sitting with me now. Do you know what I mean?
Remember, man, God gives and God can just take away, just like that.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
What are the things that you do in order to feel good?
So I could say things.
I know the gym is already. That's
yeah.
It's a big thing as well, though.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
still say it.
No, absolutely.
Say what it does for you.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So I think you really have to find your passion. I feel like everyone's got like something they're really interested in, and obviously everyone would love their passion to be their paycheck. But yeah, you find a passion. Once you find a passion, can help you find a purpose. So I'm passionate about music, making music, as you know. I'm also passionate about health and fitness. So as long as I can get either those two done in my day-to-day, I'm happy. Honestly, I'm happy. So that already gives me a happy day, and we only live day by day. Now, secondly is the people who you are around with in your life. And also, I should say the most important, obviously, your family. So I'm grateful enough to have my mum and dad. I've got two wicked sisters, I say. And then got my grandparents. I've got a big family, and I'm blessed to have my family. So that's obviously most important. But then, yeah, if you as your person, you find your passion, which I find I have. It's not my paycheck, but hopefully one day it will be. But yeah, that's your day to day. Then you've got the people you want to be around. So your friends, your girlfriend, whatever. All that together, encapsulated. That's what makes you happy. I feel like be around the people you want to be with.
That's it, yeah.
Praise your family, be around your family. Find a purpose, find a passion.
Amen. Now that was sick, man. It's like that's such a beautiful way to round it up because it's like it's not overly complicated.
Yeah.
There's beauty in simplicity.
Yeah.
And you said something there like, even I'll be honest, man. I'll be vulnerable here, man. Like there's times when I've needed help and you've given it to me. You just strip away all the complications. You just like take it day by day.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Sometimes I have a very black and white approach.
But it makes me, because I think sometimes a lot of us, maybe we get where maybe sometimes sadness or complications in terms of emotions come into play is we've got all these dreams and aspirations.
Yeah.
That's so far-fetched.
100%.
And there's like a million miles away. But if you just live your life day by day, get them goals ticked off day by day. Did you go to the gym today? Did you drink water today? Have you spoken to your family today?
Exactly.
Gone to check your grandma?
Yeah. If you've done that every day.
Are you eating healthy?
Yeah, you've done that.
Yeah,
done
that day by day. And then obviously them bigger goals will gradually come into play.
Yeah, 100%.
But
we can only live the day to day. Life is short, man, and people pass, and then that's it, which is sad. So we're meant to dream. We're meant to try and achieve that we want to achieve.
Yeah.
And we can only tackle that day by day. There's nothing else you can do.
For real.
So
yeah,
that's why I have a pretty black and white approach to certain things. Because you have to get it done.
Facts.
Innit?
Facts.
Yeah.
Bro, been a pleasure.
Yes. Yeah, of course, bro. Yeah,
My guy.
Comes down to when you ask me, do you have a healthy ego? That what you just described is how you then get a healthy ego. You must do self-work and you must show yourself love. And I have a phrase I live by, and this will be love to the audience. It's something that I've learned from someone who's mentored me, someone who I believe is a great man. And he says, be yourself, be good to yourself, and be good to good people. And the first part of that is being yourself. Unfortunately, most people never go beyond that. So you be yourself, you must acknowledge who you are truly and accept it within the realms of reality. Be good to yourself, like going to the gym, going to the sauna, eating well, sleeping well, maintaining good relationships, showing love to the people that you care for, calling your mother, calling your father if your parents are alive, giving them a ring. We give our friends a ring, we don't give our parents a ring. Or their parents call you, you look at the missed call, I'll call them later. I'm guilty of that. I said it yesterday, I said, I have no excuse not to call my mum and dad for 30 seconds a day. How can I not do that as a son? And then finally, then you be good to good people. And that's a whole different conversation because not everyone's a good person.
It's deep.
Yeah.
It's real. It's deep, man. Bro, I appreciate you, man.
Nah, I appreciate it as well,
Thank you, man. Love.
God gives and God
love,
can just take away, just like that.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And the people, one thing about people will never forget how you made them feel. One thing about that, like,
for real.
have you noticed that, for example, if you can literally remember how you felt, something. If I take you back to something, for example, let's just say an embarrassing moment in school, you remember exactly how you felt. We never forget feelings.
Facts.
We never forget feelings. So when you're dealing with people, one thing you have to remember is that they will never forget how you made them feel, and that's something that kind of like sticks with me. And that's why like I try and be a man of respect. Like there's maximum respect to everybody unless respect. Disrespect,
yeah.
Then obviously we can do disrespect back. But otherwise, if it's not that, it's maximum respect to everybody, no matter who you are. Like I don't have, you're gonna get more respect than someone. I don't do that. Everybody, because again, the person down here today, you don't know where that person's gonna be. And it doesn't even matter about that, but you generally don't know where that person's gonna be. And the one thing, that person will never, ever forget how you made them feel.